nephew, and Uncle Bruce. Now, with big players like SoFi initiating buy rates, at one point the shorters start getting out of SoFi. Well, I don't know if shorters are really in SoFi. I really don't know if that's the case. They may have been in the 20s and they've already gotten out as it's come back. That's possible. What I'm really looking for is when the blowout happens. When the point happens where we have 10 million shares of constant buying coming in every couple of hours, and we only have 8 million selling really available. And that's all you need. A little imbalance like that, and we're on the way. Pardon me. So I'm waiting for that to happen. And that's what I'm looking for. And I think we're really close because we're just about through the last of the tax loss selling. And there are people with SoFi with tax problems. Let's be honest. Insiders, they got stock at under $10 a share. They're being allowed to sell off stock. They have options to buy new stock. And so some folks are doing what Elon Musk has been doing with Tesla. They've been selling SoFi at various levels. None of them are geniuses. They should all have done it in the 20s, but they're not geniuses. So they're doing it here. Idiots at 1468. What are you going to do? They don't have a stock market, so they don't know. So they're selling into this weak price, and they're taking care of their tax issues, what have you. If you were forced to sell SoFi, or if I were your stockholder, and you called me up as an insider or as a client of mine and said, look, Bruce, I got this thing here. I gotta sell. I gotta buy stock, a stock option. I want to buy my stock option. I can buy this stuff at whatever price per share, but I gotta sell stock to do it because I've got a tax hit as soon as I buy this stuff. But if I sell any, I've got a tax hit. I would then say, well, how many shares you got to sell? Oh, you got to sell 10,000 shares, but you're going to buy 30,000 shares? I mean, you're going to be 20,000 shares, a bigger shareholder by 20,000 shares when it's all said and done. But gosh, it's 1463. We hate to sell it down here, but I have a solution for you. See, Bruce, the broker, has a solution for the client, and it's simple. Here's what we're going to do. You have two ways to play this. So you're going to sell the stock. You're going to then turn around, take the dough you need for taxes. You're going to take the dough you need to buy your option. Then you've got leftover dough. That dough you're going to use to buy $15 call contracts or $12.50 call contracts for next June, July. You're going to buy them now with that money. And then in the next month or so, as the stock goes up to 20, 22, your contract will do that. You'll then sell those contracts, and then you'll turn around and buy back your stock because it's been 30 days since you sold your stock and it's not a wash trade. And you're going to pick up your stock, and you're back on your stock. Okay? So you sold at 1470, but you bought contracts to replace the stock, and you exercised your options. You paid all your taxes, and then when the stock pops up, you're good to go. And that's what Bruce, the broker, would do for SoFi insiders, employees, managers, and all the other public company employees that would be my clients. I would be going after them, all of them. I'd be saying to this client, do you know anyone else in your position in that office? I would have done this back in October, November, December. I've been on these folks going, yeah, we gotta get you Nicks and Boots here. We gotta take care of you, but we gotta get you way out into next year contracts, because if the stock goes from 18 to 14 or from 22 to 14, we gotta protect you and give you the time for the contract to recover as the stock comes back up again. This is what Bruce the broker does, and but they don't have Bruce the broker because they don't have $1 million account, and so they can't find a Bruce the broker. I know I'm around, and so here I am, but I'm not Bruce the broker. I'm just the advisor. I'm just a man telling you what to do, and I wish I do the rest I can. George does the opposite. That is one of the greatest episodes of all time. One of the greatest. The dingo ate your baby. Feats of strength. Maybe the dingo ate your baby. Bruce, you have to see the baby. Come and see the baby. Nick, way to go, says Beach Boy. Shrinkage. It's all about shrinkage. I was in the pool. Can't spare a square. I'm sorry, I just can't spare a square. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Uncle Bruce and the word. Have an awesome day. I'd love to shake your hand, but what you've done to this organization is an abomination. Hire this man. Jerry, I'm busted. I'm busted, Jerry. I tell you right now, everything I've done is wrong. Every time I do the opposite, it's the right decision to make. Jerry, this is incredible. You don't have a spare to swear? Oh, my, oh, my, oh, my. Hire this man. Oh, man. We're 13 minutes into the market. All we're doing is talking to Jerry Seinfeld, folks. Because we have to let this market flush itself. It's got to flush itself. If it wants to go higher, it's got to go lower. Get out all the deadwood, and then we can go higher. We're down 620 on the Dow. We're down 70 on S&P. We're down 237 on NASDAQ. It's 1.5% to 1.7%. It's a nothing burger of selling. None of the point to care. JW, is it worth looking at to buy Apple options that expire this week? No, it's not. It's never, ever worth buying options that expire this week. Never, ever, ever, ever. Buttress, gal. I said, easy, big fella. And you want to be my latex salesman. Oh, no. Vandalay Industries. Say Vandalay Industries. Number 2. Oh, my. Oh, no, massive. Bruce has a decent Jerry impersonation. Generally impressed. Desperado. The opposite. It's the opposite. SoFi having a hard time trying to get to 15. Let's go. I think it's the neon lights from the Kenny Rogers Roasters. I'm surviving on no sleep. No sleep. It's bright, my brain. you have no idea. This year's Stephen Strings won't make me cry. Not again. SoFi jumping 10, 20 cents. I like it. Heaps of strength. Talk about a magic loogie. That is how the SEC explains nominal trading for ATM. That's one magic loogie. That's right. Michael is 6 going to break 52-week high again today. Michael, Magic 8 Ball says, maybe. Beach Boy, Uncle Bruce, Nick S. started a what's up? This or something, discussion group. He started a what's up discussion group, right on. Rico, I did actually read an article about there might be a short squeeze on so many factors, but as soon as I see the word short squeeze, I kind of roll. There you go. Spire, Rob says $5 for February are bid 10 cents, ask 25. If I can pick up some at 11, maybe I'll be happy, or I'm not sure what price, but there you are. Flint Creek Soap Company just binged all the seasons over the last 2 months. Happy Festivus, everybody. A Beach Boy group for options. Trading gang here, so if they want to send you an email, you can send Nick or Rudy or Ritesh or even myself. There you go, Beach Boy. And Nick S. will send them an invite. Dave, I bought SoFi, 2250 calls, expiring 121. Way back in June, obviously. You recommend rolling them out to 2023, rolling them up to 2 at a time. SoFi at 2250. You need some movement like we all do. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. If you can go further out in time, by all means do so. If you can do it, otherwise just sit around and wait them out. We're down 3 cents. We're down 2 cents on SoFi. Down 35 Rocket Lab. We're down 372 on GameStop. We're down 96 on Matterport. Down 35 at ME. We're off 15 on Spire, off 13 on ATLP, down 39 on SmartRent, down 7 on Sexton. AMC even went negative, down 59. Robinhood down 76. Matic down 257. Home Depot down 550. IBM down $2. The Dow down 634 points. S&P 334. That might be another short. Tesla down 23, Bed Bath & Beyond down 73, BlackBerry down 34, Royal Caribbean down 74 cents, reluctant. Goldman 368.18, down $13.62. Cisco down $1. We got Carnival up a nickel, Norwegian down 40, Amazon down 69, Facebook down 860, Alphabet, Google down $34. Cisco down $2. Walmart up 2 cents. eBay up 88 cents. What else is going on? American Airlines down 6. Netflix up 567. Moderna up 640. AT&T's up 40 cents, and EE Electronic is up. Electronic Air is up 89 cents. Okay, SoFi up a penny. It's the leader among our SPACs. It is the leader. It's the first one to turn green, and for good reason. Citibank. initiated coverage with a target price, a buy rating, and a target price of 20 at Citi. That means tens of thousands of advisors have been informed this morning by their people upstairs. We like the SoFi. We kind of like the SoFi. Hello, we like it. That's a worldwide organization. That is not a New York-based brokerage. That is not Pennsylvania-based or St. Louis-based. We're talking global. But you got to give it time to take effect. We're up a dime now. $14.75 on SoFi on the way to $25 and beyond. Get ready, kids. Get ready. The Dow down 594. We're down 664 on S&P, down 183 on Nasdaq. But the markets are down 1.2% Nasdaq, 1.3 or 1.4% on S&P, and down 1.69 on the Dow. It's a nothing burger on bar. Sounds impressive, but we could still go green today. Believe it or not, we could actually go green today. It's all said. Say Vandalay Industries, Vandalay. What is that? Is that a titleist? Is that Keith Hernandez? He asked you to move $1 billion in Chinese in China, and he finds a relative to talk to. Just ask them if the cream works. Yes, you grow hair like Stalin. Jenner, who in their right mind sees all this stuff happen because of Omicron and says, I think we're going to have an update. What world do you live in? I live in a happy world. I live in a real world. I live in a world where I pay attention to what's happening. And we could have an update. We could. Yeah, we could. Bernie, I appreciate you checking on me. Karim Beachport, I'd like to get into that group. Nick, Flint Creek, so did you send me samples on what I asked? Rudy, morning Uncle Bruce, morning Bagel Gang. COVID stocks coming back on Zoom, Netflix, Moderna, all up. Moderna doing this vaccine being allegedly effective against Omicron. GameStop target for covered calls. That's right, GameStop. We're looking for 160.65 to see if we can do a covered call in that range for Thursday. Michael, good call on the Apple price retreat, Bruce. I was banking on the same thing when I wrote those 180s. It's an up day when everything is red and the VIX is up. Is that what y'all meant by an up day? Really? Jeff, how's it going, bro? Would you be interested in joining our crew? I asked Uncle Bruce for an email. Let me know if you're in. Hector, Uncle Bruce, is this a good time to buy calls on Matterport for April 2022 or just buy the stock? If you're going to buy Matterport calls, you want to buy them as close to in the money as humanly possible. So if you can pick up 20s or 2250s, that's the way to go. I'm not sure yet. I haven't heard anything about a change in Matterport contracts with regards to whether or not they are weeklies yet. I don't think they are, and I suspect they were at what they had 250 increments up to 25 and then $5 increments in price above that. Frustrating as it can be. We're waiting for changes on this. Yeah, we're still showing 2250s, 25s, that 30, 35s, and 50s. Going up to April, if you're picking off April calls, 2250s are 430 to 480, but they're at the money. That's expensive. 20s are 510 to 590, so they're $2 in the money. You're only paying a 310 to 390 premium. 1750s are 640 to 720. They are in the money of 450, so you're paying a $2 premium only on 1750s. In other words, if the stock goes up $1, the 1750s are likely to go up about 75 to 80 cents with every dollar you go higher, and they have the leverage of the contract. But you got to pay a price to get in, so there you go. Another way to play the game, write cash secured puts on Matterport if you can get a premium to do so. That's something to look into as well. Go too far, too fast. Does the SoFi compete with Citigroup? Not on the big drop necessarily. And then, of course, there are still analysts at Citigroup for their shareholders. There was a second spinner back to the left, magically, Magic Ruby. That's quite the Magic Ruby. Bruce, do you think it's a bad time to buy 100 GameStop? I'm dying to write covered calls against it. But I'll drop 50% in 30 seconds of buying on GameStop. I mean, come on. Pick it up at 150, 449 and start writing options if you want. You'll be fine. Let's see here. Let's go. Beach Boy, Karim, just send an email to Uncle Bruce and he will make the connection. JW, so why would the same week option buying? And if you have to do rollovers because the stock's going up, what do you care? You're happy. You're a shareholder. Your stock went up. Great. You're rolling over into higher price contracts further out. Fine. Dare the stock to keep going up. Darren, it'll take you higher. Yeah, the shares go to 200 a share and you're writing 210s. In your mind, you can say, oh, well, I'm finally writing share contracts higher than the price I paid for my stock. Yeah, so, okay. But if they're 180 a share, 160 a share, or where are they now? 152.31, and you're writing 155s for Thursday, and they buy them back for less tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, you've made a couple of bucks on your stock, irregardless of what you paid for. And you can't let what you paid for dominate your life on this transaction. You just can't.
Here we go for today's number. It's December 20, 2021. 10 balls. Each ball has a number. Numbers 1 through 10. Swirl the numbers. Pick a number. Today's number is 10.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The Build Back Better bill appears to be doomed after Senator Joe Manchin announced Sunday he would not vote for President Biden and the Democrats' signature piece of legislation, the almost $2 trillion package that would expand the social safety net and combat the climate emergency.
If I can't go home and explain it to the people of West Virginia, I can't vote for it. And I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there.
Manchin chose to make his announcement on Fox News. The news prompted swift condemnation from Democrats, activists, and the White House, which essentially accused the West Virginia conservative Democrat of lying. In a scathing statement, Press Secretary Jen Psaki said Manchin's announcement, quote, represents a sudden and inexplicable reversal in his position and a breach of his commitments to the president and the senator's colleagues in the House and Senate, unquote. Manchin reportedly refused to take a White House call before sinking the bill on TV. Progressive lawmakers called out both Manchin and Democratic leadership for failing earlier this year to keep the bipartisan infrastructure vote tied to a vote on the Build Back Better Act. Congressmember Ilhan Omar tweeted, quote, West Virginia is 50th in public health, 50th in child care, 48th in employment. They support Build Back Better by a 43-point margin. This has nothing to do with his constituents. This is about the corruption and self-interest of a coal baron, Ilhan Omar tweeted. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has just announced senators will vote very Duterte will be sworn as president in March. In the Philippines, the death toll from Super Typhoon Rai has reached 375. At least another 500 people were injured. Dozens are still missing as search and rescue operations continue. Rai is the strongest typhoon to hit the Philippines this year. Meanwhile, in Malaysia, major floods have killed at least 8 people and displaced tens of thousands.